Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is July, the Kabi. I hope all of you are doing well. I have a topic that is burning, and I want us to discuss it, especially in Kenya and Africa, and especially in Kenya, the political situation in Kenya. Listen to this. It's from podcast, Jagero Podcast. It's a very interesting topic. Listen to this.
Their brains. They wake up every day thinking that when you are black, you are a victim. That's why they harbor bitterness. They weaponize the violence they had been receiving, and now they live by it. And so they want to get even before they get ahead, which is very hard. I want to speak to everybody, including my brothers and sisters from Homa Bay, like my brother. I also come from a challenged county called Bungoma. It is not as developed. And I cannot say that we are underdeveloped or we have no development because some other forces elsewhere is responsible for our underdevelopment. You have mentioned Sessional Paper 10. Sessional Paper 10 was authored by one Thomas Joseph Odhiambo Mboya, one of the brightest young people at the independence of this country, who comes from Mfangano Island. Rusinga Island. So if he came up with a paper that alienates his own region from development, so I wonder how that is marginalization. Because this is your own brains, this is your own son. He should have considered it's called African socialism, authored by Tom Mboya. So if this gave room for government to take development elsewhere, where there will be immediate rewards, I wonder how immediate rewards means, because when I look at Homa Bay, it has immediate rewards because we have a lake full of potential. You can do fishing, you can do everything there. So it was a matter of the people with the brain of coming up with a paper like Sessional Paper 10 to also push through implementation for the benefit of their own people. Some of these brothers of mine have complained about Kikuyus owning TV stations and the media, and therefore they control everything. The first minister of information is Achieng' Oneko. Achieng' Oneko is not a Kamau. Achieng' Oneko is a Luo. How comes do we say that we are marginalized? Marginalized by who? The issue of lands and title deeds. Our own working constitution. James Agri Orengo became minister under the Grand Coalition government for lands. That is one of the most progressive governments Kenya has ever had since independence. And the issue of title deeds were not solved by the person who is the first victim of these injustices, which means that he failed to think about where he comes from and the issues of his own people. When we meet on the national table, Jagero, and everybody here, the reason why there is somebody elected from a particular area called Sindo, the other one is elected from Kapsokon, the other one is elected from Bondet, the other one is elected from Tana River, is because we have unique problems everywhere. And therefore, it's you to bring a petition to the table highlighting the issues of your own people, then get a consensus in the House of the Nation, like Parliament or Senate, to support that this one has to happen. And therefore, you cannot come here and say, we have been curtailed from developing our own area. That cannot be the victim mentality we want to continue with, and we want to develop. Where I come from, we have been the sole providers of sugar in this country. Mumias, as I was telling you earlier, used to bring taxes up to 6 billion to the exchequer every year.
Imagine.
It was one of the fastest growing towns in Western Kenya. Pan Paper used to employ 40,000 employees reporting to work every day. Zoya Sugar used to employ 37,000 people.
Imagine.
It's our own people who started repackaging sugar and selling it here and making the companies and making our companies fail.
Kidero.
When our company failed, Mumias, Kidero was the chairman. Yes. So if it's marginalization, who is marginalizing us?
Evans.
So when I look at these things, I get really sick because it's the flaccidity of our leadership. People who occupy those front seats and they only think about their own stomachs. And when we meet here, we want to say so and so is not building. If we are missing a water borehole in Homa Bay, is it Kagombe who failed to build it? Is it Kagombe?
Who is Kagombe?
That's
crook MP from Gatundu.
He's an MP from Gatundu.
Okay.
When
he's a crook MP.
Yes.
Yes. When a mother case.
Yes.
Yes.
When we fail to get the right water pan in Busia, can we say Kangata did not build it? Why is it that we are sending leaders from Busia to parliament? What's their job?
When there is hyacinth in the lake.
Yes, when there is hyacinth in Lake Victoria, who should be thinking about it first?
They don't care.
Do we expect Irungu Kangata or Moses Tulia to be the one talking about them?
Yeah.
When in Bungoma, there is a huge pothole on the road that is bringing injuries to our mothers being carried by motorbikes. Who should be the one talking about it? We have a member of parliament in the house called John Makali. He has only spoken thrice in parliament.
And Didmas Baraza,
Yes.
another murder suspect.
Yes. John Makali spoke in 2023 when he rose to say, I vote yes to the first finance bill.
Yes.
He spoke again in 2024 when he was voting for the finance bill that killed our young people. He rose again in 2025 to vote for another finance bill. He has spoken nothing else to support the problems of his own people. We are doing nothing for ourselves and expect everything from other people. I'm not saying that other people are not responsible to the country's developments, but it is important that we look inward. How have we ourselves contributed to the problems that we are having? So how do we get ourselves out of there? Majority of these problems we have is because of ourselves, not about anyone else. When we lost Zoya Sugar the other day, it was leased to somebody called Rai. They did not value the nucleus estate, which is 24,000 acres of land. We leased that machine to a person who has his private milling machine. So when he wants sugar, he goes to the nucleus estate of Zoya Sugar, cuts sugar there, he goes and mills it in his own mill. Our people were lied to that they have been given bonus. You remember that time that the president has given you bonus. Bonus is only given when you have produced and have surpassed target. Have they been ever given a bonus again? Because it's not there. Our people supervised the leasing of that machine. When I look at that picture, when Rai was in Western, I did not see Njuguna there. I saw our own people. I did not see Mudaura. I did not see Kalonzo. I saw my own people, the people we share a language with. But when we come to holding them accountable, all of a sudden we've never had a president. We've only had a president, tumekuwa tuna Wakikuyu na Wakale. The other day, I was saying that if having a president is so important, show me the roads in Baringo. They had a president for 24 years. For you to understand how bad leadership means, show me schools in Baringo.
Moi was terrible.
Moi was a strong man in this country for 24 years. Go to Nyeri. They have 17 colonial villages. They have had a president called Mwai Kibaki. Go to Ukambani, Kitui. A road from Kwavonza to Kavisuni is 52 kilometers. It's worse than what you saw in Homa Bay. Go to Tana River. The level of poverty you see there. Somebody staying in a house that you can see everything while standing outside. And they have children. And the mother is pregnant. You wonder how did the father perform his duties? These are issues that we talk about.
Yeah.
For us to get out of this manacles,
yes,
we have to look inward. Ourselves. There is nobody who is coming to save us.
Okay. Can I go to Mr.
Just to add on to that, Kajwang, was the minister of immigration. Go to Luo Nyanza right now. Tell me how many Luos have IDs. Luos don't have IDs. I've done multiple ID drives in the Luo Nyanza in the Kanyatiki area. The Luos are the age of, I'll say from 18 to 80s. They will line up like crazy. They don't have IDs. I've had grandparents running looking for IDs, and yet we want development. We are not holding these people accountable. So what kind of marginalization are we talking about? Our own Prime Minister was at one point the Minister of Roads. We've had positions. We have had very powerful positions, but what are we doing with them? Right now we have the MCA. We have the MP. We have the Senate. We have the governor. We have the women rep. What else do we want? And every year there's allocation of funds that should be going down to the people. What else do we want? Presidency was 2010. Was part of the reason why we had the 2010 constitution. To give power to the people. Back in the days of Moi, it was only if you're in opposition, no development. That's why we did what we did, to get it down to the people. And we're still talking of marginalization now, Jolu. What kind of marginalization are we talking about? What do we want? The only development we are doing right now is getting goons to fight for you. I will talk about goons here the next time. But let's stop this shenanigan. Let's stop this hypocrisy. Let's put these people accountable. People in the next video. Oh, you can subscribe, like, share to my July the Cabby, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and we'll meet in the next video. Okay.